One of the trickiest things I think students try to get their head around as part of, learning this whole essay process is being able to analyse their quotes. Analysing quotes is quite complicated, and that's for a number of reasons. In order to analyse quotes effectively, really, you need to be having a really good understanding of the social context, so the cultural assumptions embedded within the text, and the values, attitudes, and beliefs associated with that world of the text and with your characters. So that involves a lot of in-depth study and personal research and analysis as well of the text. So in order for you to unpack those quotes to the best of your ability, it has to be grounded in that having a much greater understanding of, the context of the text as a whole. Students find that so challenging though is because I don't think enough time is really spent on diving deep into the text in that way, or those links aren't made with students in terms of this is why we're studying the great chain of being, and this is how it applies when it comes to unpacking your quotes. There's a lot of elements involved with that. But probably the best tip that I can really give you, apart from already telling you that you need to read and research around your text a lot in preparation for this external essay, is one of the things that I say to my students all the time when it comes to analysing their quotes is, tell me what I don't know. Tell me what I don't know. So what that is prompting my students to do is to go beyond the surface of the quote. Don't explain it to me. I already can interpret that within the words on the page. So I think a lot of students default into that explaining the quote because they themselves are trying to get a firm understanding of what the quote means in the first place. But you've got to move beyond that explanation of the metaphor of Hamlet's "'Tis an unweeded garden that grows things rank and gross of nature." You need to move beyond just explaining that and saying, oh, Hamlet is comparing the world to an overgrown, untended garden. I already know that. I can see that within the quote itself. You need to tell me what I don't know. What isn't in that quote? But what does it imply? What are the values, attitudes, beliefs embedded within that quote? And it's only when we start looking at the greater context and understanding, Hamlet as a character, that we can identify this, his deeply held belief that the world is essentially a corrupt place. So Hamlet's metaphor of the garden is really a social and political commentary on how he perceives the world in which he lives as being inherently corrupt. So I really encourage students to use this reference point of telling me what I don't know so that you can dig into the quote a little bit deeper and start unpacking the values, attitudes, and beliefs. And hopefully that will shift you more in towards analysis as opposed to explanation.